Wyoming's best adventure starts in Wind River Country, located in western Wyoming, just beyond Yellowstone National Park and the Grand Teton Mountains. Wind River Country is the place to go to get away from the crowds, unplug, unwind, and find room to roam. Wyoming's Wind River Country, Yellowstone's unique neighbor.
Hey, we are back with another episode. It's Wyoming's Wind River Country, Yellowstone's unique neighbor, and we are in one unique place. That is South Pass City, and we are here for the Continental Divide Trail Awareness Week, and they're celebrating it right now. And we're here actually on a portion of the Continental Divide Trail just down the way from us as we are recording. Helen Wilson is with us with the Wind River Visitors Council.
It's really exciting to be here, and a little bit of information about the trail. The Continental Divide Trail runs right through Wind River Country. It goes through South Pass City as well as very close to Du Bois, both of which are in Wind River Country. A little bit of history on the trail here. The Continental Divide Trail Coalition has a program of gateway communities, and Lander and South Pass City are one of those gateway communities. Back in 2022, the Wind River Visitors Council applied for that designation and got it. We put Lander with South Pass City. South Pass City Historic Site is not a municipality by itself. So it's Lander, South Pass City, and once a year we get to host an event that brings awareness to the trail. And this year we're doing Continental Divide Trail Awareness Week, which will include this podcast, some community outreach, a community hike, and we're really excited about it.
And we're joined by a cast of characters. I'm really excited. We have a gentleman that's actually hiking the trail, Splash. We have Austin, who's a hiker as well and is very knowledgeable. And then we have the man, Joe Ellis, who is the superintendent of South Pass Historic Site here. Joe, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Great. I'm out here. How do you... working out here is amazing. I feel so relaxed, so peaceful, and it's just like a trip back in time.
It's a fantastic place, and we are really glad that a lot of hikers come through every year.
And that's what we want to raise the awareness on, is on the hikers, the trail, what it means to South Pass City, and just those folks that come through. So let's talk about that, because I'm not sure if a lot of people knew that we have the Continental Divide Trail that runs right through Wyoming. And if you do know that, you may not know that South Pass City is one of those locations hikers check in. So you get to see a lot of the hikers, Joe.
Yeah, we do. We will usually get about 500 hikers that'll come through in the course of a year. And the CDT Trail is right in the middle of town. It follows Main Street. So it's a neat addition to our history that people get a chance to walk the Continental Divide Trail and then walk in the steps of the miners that lived here at South Pass City.
History, so much of it.
Yeah, there is. There's a tremendous amount of history here. South Pass was founded in 1867. First gold claims were set, and then it set off a series of booms of gold mining that happened here. One in 1868 that lasted for 4 or 5 years, and then several that came after that. And our biggest population was, of course, about 2,000 people at its peak, but now we have a whopping 7 people that live here full time. And it gets to go up a little bit during the summertime when the hikers come through.
I want to mention again, they're celebrating it right now, the Continental Divide Trail Awareness Week. And Joe, you're hosting a little hike here.
Yes, indeed. On the 30th of August, we are turning around and we're going to have a little bit of a hike that goes down, follows part of the Continental Divide Trail, particularly as it goes through South Pass. We have a group of trails that are on the historic site, so we'll walk those and a portion of the CDT on the BLM property.
Do you think we can take a little stroll on that today during the podcast?
Sure, we probably can.
Let's talk about South Pass City for our visitors that come to town. What other things can they do here?
One of the things we're known for is we have the historic gold mining town of South Pass City, but we also have the Herrera mine, which was the main kind of economic engine of South Pass City. We do tours of that on the weekends during our open season. We also have a really cool feature called the English Tunnel, and it actually is, we take you in on an underground experience. We take you back into an adit that goes 300 feet into the side of a mountain, and it was dug in the 1870s, and it is very much an experience of being an underground miner at that time period. So there's all kinds of things that happen throughout the course of the summer. There's events, tours, all kinds of special things that happen in terms of treks and lots of stuff.
Do you get a lot of the hikers that stop and partake in some of your
We
festivities?
do, actually. A lot of them stop and will take our tours. It's a nice break off of the trail. Plus, also, the buildings that they get to go into are nice and shady. So if they're northbound and have just crossed the basin, they really can experience some nice shade and cool. And then if they're headed towards the mountains, they can prepare for being bear aware.
And of course, only walking 10 steps and getting to drink a sarsaparilla.
Yes, exactly. Yep. And we sell lots of ice cream sandwiches to our hikers, too.
Helen, I think the gift shop is one of my favorite places. How about you?
Oh, it's so fun. It's like stepping back in time. And this whole place it's just fun. It's peaceful. The amount of times I've walked into the store and said, wow, I remember this from when I was a kid. And I don't know any other places that sell the things that this store has. So if you come to South Pass City, definitely worth going into the gift shop, getting a sarsaparilla, getting a big jawbreaker that's the size of your hand, and just enjoying the day. Also, just walking around here is incredible. There's a lot of historic buildings. Joe can speak a little bit more about the events that they have, but sometimes there's people baking cookies, and it's on the old stoves, and you really do take a step back in time. And it's also another thing I love about South Pass City is it is dog friendly. So if you're traveling with animals, you can walk your dog down Main Street and your dog can go anywhere you can on a leash in South Pass. So it's fun.
We have Austin and Splash as well. I'm finding out more about the hikers' names with the Continental Divide Trail. Austin, you've done the trail. You're here as an advocate. Let's talk about the Continental Divide Trail. Let's talk about the hikers. Let's talk about the fun environment that you guys have. And you really do enjoy every community that you guys stop in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say Lander specifically. I did the Continental Divide Trail in 2022. And I actually stayed in Lander for 5 days, 3 of those being in the city park and the other 2 being at a motel. And I was here for a little bit longer because I actually had to get an emergency crown done. So I went to the dentist and paid out of pocket to get it done. But it gave me the opportunity to experience how amazing the town of Lander is and how welcoming it is. It's not only Continental Divide Trail gateway community, as well as the existence of knolls, as well as it being like a nationwide climbing destination, as well as it being on the Trans-American Bike Tour. It's just, the town has just an unlimited amount of options for people that love the outdoors.
What about the Continental Divide Trail Awareness Week? What's really important for folks to know that are listening to the podcast?
A lot of the other long trails within the United States have existed for so long that when hikers get into towns, everyone knows exactly what they're doing. And it creates this community between the trail and the towns that is just such a beautiful thing. And for the Continental Divide Trail to get to that point, it just needs the communities to be more aware of what these hikers are doing. Whenever you are driving on the side of the road and people with these gigantic packs and their thumb out, we just need to communicate the intentions of what the hikers are so it doesn't just seem like there's homeless people. Because while they are theoretically homeless, they're homeless with a plan.
Exactly. They may not have showered in a few days.
Yes, and quite a good deal of money because it is a very costly pilgrimage to go on.
That's what I understand. Yeah. It is costly, and then they give back to all the communities that they stop in, which is awesome. How do people kind of track going on or prove that they were on the trail? Because the South Pass gift shop has this really cool sign-in. And if you look at it, people from all over the country and world that have signed that potentially.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would say as hikers, most of the time, there's so much specific interactions, almost like shared trauma that you have as a hiker, because you're going through so many hardships that the trail logs are more of a way to communicate and just leave your mark rather than something that proves that you did it. Because I think the thing that proves that you did it is it's like your spirit. It's the grit that you communicate to the other hikers rather than just putting your name down. It's so much vaster than just having that. And of course, the CDT does recognize, like you can sign up, put your name down so that the CDTC knows that you were on a hike, but you don't have to do that either. And in the end, it's only you that knows whether or not you did it. So it's an honor system.
Yeah. Joe, do you guys track how many people come through from the book?
Yes, we do. We keep a track of both CDT bikers and hikers. Usually it's a head count, so it's usually pretty accurate. And it is. I'm always amazed at the number of people that come through. They come in 1, 2 at a time.
By the end, it's a lot.
Yeah, it is. And there are days that we have a bunch of hikers on our front deck.
Joe, you just mentioned that there's bikers that do the trail. Can you talk a little bit about that too?
There's people that follow as close as possible the CDT on mountain bikes, and they come through and they're just like the actual hikers. They actually leave sometimes drop boxes with us. They come through, they stop, and they're definitely the ones that like the popsicles and ice cream sandwiches.
Can you tell us how many popsicles and ice cream sandwiches you go through in a summer?
Oh, a lot. Our gift shop manager, she has a lot of very sweet things in her store, and that seems to make the hikers happy. So,
what do you say the average amount of visitors for the CDT come through?
On an average year, it's around 500. It's quite a few. And then there will be years that there's more, depending on what kind of publicity that the trail has gotten. There was a few years ago, I can't remember the name of the movie that came out. What was it called?
Walk in the Woods, or the one with Reese Witherspoon?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Walk in the Woods. And that really made a bump. But then there's been years that it's been tricky. 2023 was tough for a lot of hikers because of the snow that came through that year. There was a lot of snow in the Colorado Rockies. The winds took a long time to melt out. So you see seasonal variations, and then depending on awareness.
Austin somehow managed to wrangle an actual hiker. Splash is currently hiking the Continental Divide Trail. He's here at the South Pass stop. Splash, we're glad you took some time off the trail to join us.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Where did you start the hike?
Let's see, on the boot heel of New Mexico, so about 65 miles south of Lordsburg, New Mexico.
All right, so how many miles have you made it so far?
Oh, shoot. Maybe about 1,700 or so. I've been out since about April 13th, so.
And about what time would you complete the trail?
Hopefully late September. My plan's to get up to Glacier National Park before the snow flies, because I know once you're up in the mountains and it's getting snowy, it's hit or miss if you can make it, so hopefully I get up there in time.
Is this your first time to the area?
This is my first time, to this area.
What do you think?
I love it. I am in love with Lander. I've been in Lander for the past 3 days, and it's cool. It's real good people, a lot to do around here. I like it a lot.
Good. We love all of our areas here in Wind River Country, and being a hiker and kind of not knowing a ton of people. How's that been for you?
There's a good community of people that are either on the trail or know what I'm doing on the trail, but there's also kind folk like yourself that I'll just meet on the street and kind of just chat it up with, and it's very friendly people out here. I like it.
And I think this is a unique stop here at South Pass City, don't you? With the history, the old buildings.
It is great. I love these old mining towns so much. We've passed quite a few, but this one has a certain charm to it. All the old buildings, and it's real neat to see, for sure.
How did you get the nickname Splash, or the hiker name? Trail name. Sorry, Trail name.
It's not the best story, but I was down in the Gila River, and I was talking with an old guy, Mud Duck, about how he used to be a swimmer and played water polo and different water sports, and I ended up tripping over and splashing him pretty good, and he just named me Splash, and it stuck with. Yeah.
I like it. Well, you continue and you leave from here, and where do you go?
Go up through the Wind Rivers. It's the Twin Tower.
Circuit of the Towers.
Circuit of the Towers. Yep, we're going to be going through that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I know, I can't wait. I've dreamed of coming out to this part of the country for so long, and it feels so surreal to finally be here.
Yeah.
I think most people that have done the Continental Divide Trail will agree that the Circuit of the Towers and the northern section of the Winds is the most beautiful section of the entire trail.
You guys want to go on a little hike?
Sure, let's do it.
All right. How far is the trail from the gift shop?
The trail walks right by the gift shop. So the actual physical trail, it runs down Main Street where we're walking right now. This was, of course, the historic Main Street of South Pass City. And that first boom that happened in 1868, and that was the highest population density that happened here, and about 2,000 people living here in town. The mining then was largely on the surface in the creek beds, placer mining. And so it was simpler work. So lots of people did it. And the hikers that walk in, they walk along Willow Creek, and that is where all the action was. The gold that was here washed down off of the hillsides that came into Willow Creek, and so they get to see exactly where these guys were going in a very similar state to what it looked like. It was pretty wild, not much development, and it probably has the same kind of feeling for some hikers when they walk in the evening. They'll walk in here and be surprised by, oh my God, there's civilization here.
I think it's especially impactful because the northbound hikers are all coming straight through the basin before they hit here. So any slight indication of civilization is a huge weight off of your shoulders. Almost literally, because you're carrying so much weight on your shoulders.
We're really lucky to be in the position that we're in, because we do get to see that. Oh my God, I've just crossed the red desert. Look.
Yep.
And I've made it, I think. And so that's been great. So it is fun to have people come in, and they get a chance to get in, out of the shade, out of the wind for a bit, and then head north. Part of what they're following, part of it is historic roads and historic connections down to, largely to the Union Pacific corridor down by Rawlins. So a lot of the Continental Divide Trail actually crosses some of the historic roads that come into South Pass City. There's a lot of perception that Lander wasn't even here at the time that South Pass City boomed. That was the main corridor. Cross the Red Desert, come up here. All of the windows, the logs, the equipment that's here at South Pass City was all shipped in across that same corridor that you guys are walking.
Splash, you went through the Red Desert, right?
I did.
Yeah, it's a beauty.
It is so beautiful. But we did some good night hiking. It's cooler in the night.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
I always tell people that the best way to do the basin is to do it at nighttime, because not only do you escape the heat, but I think the starscape that I was able to see within the basin was the most impressive that I've seen across the entire country.
Yeah, and Sinks Canyon is actually a designated dark skies.
Exactly,
park.
Yeah, my mother came and visited me about a month and a half into me moving here, and we were trying to plan it so that way we could get a new moon when she was here and go out and see the stars. We didn't quite get it, but we got it where the moon was still down over the horizon, so there was about an hour and a half window at 4 o'clock in the morning.
So how many miles are you trying to do every day?
Varies depending on what part of the trail I'm on. Like going through the basin, probably around like 30s a day. I had like a pretty big day, like a 40-mile day. But if it's up in the mountains, if I can make 20, I'm happy with that. But at least 20, that's my rule of thumb.
Now, Joe, what is the Hermit Creek Trail?
It's one of our interpretive trails here at South Pass. We have 4 miles of interpretive trails here on the historic side. They're broken into 3 kind of groups, and they all interconnect, so they're a nice hike.
It's cool.
For somebody that's not wanting to do thousands of miles. And they actually follow some of the early structures and archaeology that's here on the site. With that many people, the landscape that we're looking at right now was different then. It was an industrial landscape with lots and lots of people mining.
So we're going through the gate here. This must be the official entrance.
And we're forcing Splash to do a section of trail twice right now. So this is
I feel like
I wasn't going to say anything, but
I feel like that's an extra button for your resume.
it's all good. Yeah, I did it twice. I'm with it.
Yeah, in the same day.
This is an absolute privilege.
Do folks always have bear spray when they hike the CDT?
So most people I've seen, they won't get their bear spray until they get up to about Lander.
Okay.
The black bears aren't usually something you're too worried about. They're more skittish, but the brown bears, the grizzlies are definitely something that you want to have that extra little bit of insurance. Yeah, no, personally, I've carried mine the whole way because I'm just new to this whole through hiking thing and didn't know. Haven't whittled my pack down too light yet.
So you started with the CDT?
Yes, sir. I did,
cool.
yeah.
Nice.
I saw a window and I thought, if I can only do one trail, I want it to be the CDT. I'm happy, man. It's,
Nice.
I feel real blessed to be out here.
So, Joe, when you take the folks on the hike for the 30th, is this kind of what they'll be?
Yep, we'll
going on?
follow it for a little ways. We'll show people a little bit of the history. We'll show the topography that's around here and that sort of thing. We're working on actually having a friend of mine that has done the CDT twice coming along.
Awesome.
And leading that.
A lot of people who have triple crowned, which is when you do the Appalachian Trail, the Continental Divide Trail, and the Pacific Crest Trail, if any of them go back and do a trail a second time, it's the CDT.
Yeah.
And it's because it's so long and there's so many different routes that you can take. It's almost like how when you shuffle a deck of cards, that's the first time that order of deck of cards has ever existed, because the probability of it falling in that order is so that it's a new shuffle every single time. It's like the CDT, where there's no two people that have ever done the same hike. So if you come back, you can do almost a completely different trail
Really?
a second time. So I would say if I was to do another one, it would be the CDT a second time.
So, Joe, where are we standing at right now?
We are actually standing at the kind of intersection or confluence of Willow Creek and Hermit Creek. I think it's hilarious here that there are 2 Hermit Creeks right here at South Pass City.
There's been a lot of hermits in South.
There has been a lot of hermits, so it makes sense that there's 2 creeks. So yeah, this is what is right near the historic site, and it definitely is on the trail. We're actually standing on an old mining road that went to a processing plant that sat further down the creek on Willow Creek. So that's one of the neat things about CDT hikers is they do hit a lot of history on their walks, and a lot of it's mining history because of course you're walking in the mountains and to the right like that. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty amazing that they get to see that.
How often are these signs that say you're on the Continental Divide Trail?
I think it varies. If it's like a real wooded area, there'll be like a little plaque that's up on the trees, maybe every couple miles or so. But sometimes you won't see one for 60 miles or something. It'll just be some dirt road you're following. But you'll see them quite a bit.
Yeah, I love that you have these to be able to help guide and show them they're in the right place.
Very helpful. Very helpful, yeah.
BLM puts those up and they maintain them as best they can. That's a long stretch of trail to mark.
Oh, yeah.
Joe, you said we go over this kind of mining road over the creek here. And then where does it continue on?
It'll actually pop out onto the top. The trail will as you get closer to the Sweetwater. And then it goes out across the base. I actually have not hiked that section, so I'll leave that up to you guys.
Yeah. I'll tell you.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think even when we're out there, you're like, this would be nice if we had a car. Yeah.
A horse, maybe, something.
Yeah.
And Joe, South Pass City Historic Site does hikes every year. Where would somebody go to find those hikes?
What you do is go to southpasscity.org. That's our website, and it has all kinds of stuff. It has stuff about our events. It has things about our treks. We usually host a series of treks for about 20 people to go out and look at specific aspects of the kind of greater South Pass. And that encompasses a lot of the CDT and kind of the rim of the basin. There was a lot of history that happened out here. There's incredible geology. There's amazing kind of archaeology. So we try and give people the opportunity to see that resource out there. So we go do those about every month during the summertime. Our next one is actually, we have Shoshone woman coming in and John Meinzinski coming in to talk about some of the harvesting practices of the Shoshone tribe. So they'll come in and they'll actually be on this section of trail and showing what the kind of late August, September harvesting practices were. So it's a lot of fun, and we try and show everything from what's happening right now here in the area to things that happened 10,000 years ago.
And there's a lot of medicinal plants and all kinds of things. So I'm sure even though you've done these hikes so many times, Joe, you always see or learn something new.
God, yeah. Particularly when you've got John Meinzinski talking about it. It's, oh my gosh, how do you maintain that knowledge?
Yeah, we just had him on a podcast for Sasquatch.
Oh.
It was
I hear
such
this
a
one.
believer. I'm sorry, but if John says that it's true.
Yeah, so John is he's an ethnobotanist that lives in Atlantic City, and he's an incredible just source of information. He worked on the Bighorn sheep project that was done. He's got just incredible amounts of information about grizzlies, about birds, plants, and his real focus is ethnobotany. And so he does amazing presentations. And thank God there's no test that's involved with them, because I never can remember all of it.
One of the neat things about living in Wind River country, whether that's Du Bois or Riverton or Lander, is a lot of people have a fully packed pack in their car, because we do have such great trails here. And it is an outdoor area, and we always welcome hikers and bikers and people coming through for whatever reason. But you can visit windriver.org for more information on things to do when you're in the towns, as well as the hiking trails themselves.
Hey, we're really excited to be here and celebrate the Continental Divide Trail. This is what it's all about. We're raising awareness. And if you want to find out more, like Helen said, windriver.org. Hey, this is another episode of Wyoming's Wind River Country, Yellowstone's unique neighbor.
Thanks for tuning in to Wyoming's Wind River Country, Yellowstone's unique neighbor. Visit us at windriver.org and follow Wyoming's Wind River Country on Facebook and Instagram. This podcast has been brought to you by the Wind River Visitors Council.